Alright, hey guys. Today the topic of interest is value and self-esteem. So I'm going to tell you how you can develop good self-esteem and how you can tell whether or not you think that you're valuable. So I'm going to start with what valuable means and the definition of it. So when I say, do you think that you're valuable? What I'm really saying is, do you think that you are important? Do you think that you are significant? Do you think that you deserve good things to happen to you? Do you think that you're worth much? That's really what value is. And I spent the majority of this week going around asking people, do you think you're valuable? How do you know you're valuable? And I got some really interesting responses and answers to this as well. The kind of answers I tended to get were, I know I'm valuable because, my man treats me good. He runs the tub for me. He cooks dinner for me. So I know I'm valuable because he does that for me. And then I asked the question then, so does that mean that if he was to stop doing all those things and he woke up one morning and said, you know what, babe, I don't love you anymore and left, would that mean that you're not valuable anymore? And then it got people thinking and it was good. And I got one really good quote from one of my friends who's, asked her that question. And this is what she said. I thought it's so good, I gotta write it down. So I did write it down. And this is what it says. It says, how people treat us is the way we tend to perceive our value. So I'll say that again. How people treat us is the way we perceive our value. And that's so true. Most times we tend to think that our worth comes from the way people treat us. So if somebody was to treat us well, we think, they treat me well because, I am worth something. I'm valuable. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if they were to treat you badly, sometimes we'll think, it's because I'm not good enough or because, I'm not really worth much and because, I'm not fulfilling my full potential. And you think that your value um, gets lower just because they've treated you badly. And that's not the case. Because we tend to get our value from outside things, so from the way people treat us or from what we can do. So like from our jobs, for example, or our, abilities. And I had like, big issues in this area myself. So for example, like I used to get my value from what people would say about me or what people thought of me. And I'll give you a real life example. Like, I remember I used to take drama classes and I used to perform. And I remember that I had this one director who wouldn't really tell me, Josh, you good, you the man. And I remember in rehearsal sometimes, I'd be going at it. I'd be, doing everything that I could do to get the director to say, Josh, good job. So sometimes, I'll do a little scene and I think I nail it. Then I'll look over and say, okay, go on. You can tell me how good I was now. And the director, he wouldn't say anything. So I was like, man, maybe I need to work a little bit harder, deliver that line a little bit funnier. And so I remember we had one show. I only did one show. And after the show, I remember I quickly came out, ran out. I don't want to say run because it makes me sound desperate. Okay, I ran out. And I went to the front of the stage, close to where the audience were. And then I hovered around and said, okay, all right, guys, you can come and tell me how good I was. You can come on over, go tell me I'm the man. And when I didn't get that, it affected me so badly. I think, man, maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe if I delivered that line a little bit better, then they would have laughed at that joke. And I was criticizing myself, and it affected my whole mood, and affected the whole facet of my day just because I didn't get that pat on the back that I really wanted. And we all do that sometimes as well. We get our value from different things. So sometimes we think that, I'm beautiful because, um, I'm getting attention from these boys. But if they don't give you that attention, then does that mean you're not beautiful anymore? So the point I'm making is that your value doesn't increase or decrease just because somebody treats you well or treats you badly. Your value comes from who you are. So you're valuable because you're creating God's image. You're valuable because there's not going to be anyone else like you. There's no one else with the same fingerprints as you. There's no one else who has the same aura, who can say that particular joke the way you can say it. There's no one else who you're the sperm cell that made it. You know what I mean? Like even with twins as well, it's crazy. Like you can have two twins who look exactly the same, but they're different. They have a different energy about them. You know what I mean? They have different sets of fingerprints, even though they look exactly the same. So you have gifts, you have talents that you don't even know you have just yet. So You know what I mean? Your value doesn't decrease or increase because of the way somebody treats you. So I got a good little demo for you. See, I got this £10 note here, right? £10. So what would happen if I'm gonna use it to go get a trim after this, by the way. But if I was to scrunch up this £10 note, right? Scrunch it up. Just sit on it for demonstration purposes. And I pulled it out, and I went over to my barber, and I gave him the £10 note, all crumpled up like the way it is right now. Would he still take it and give me a trim? Of course he would. That's a rhetorical question. Yeah, he would. Why? Because like the value of this £10 note hasn't changed. So just because I crumpled it up, or just because I sat on it and treated it badly, it didn't change the fact that it's still valuable. So just because people treat you badly, or just because someone may criticize you, or just because somebody treats you well, it doesn't change your value. You're always going to be valuable. You're valuable because you're unique. You're valuable because there's never going to be anybody else like you. You're valuable because you're made in the image of God. You're valuable because you have all these gifts, all these talents you don't even know you have just yet. It's crazy. So, and when you realize that you are valuable and you're unique and that you're a masterpiece, you'll be able to walk away from certain things. You'll be able to walk away from relationships where you may be abused, or where you feel that you're not being treated right, because you know your own worth. You know that it doesn't come from the way this person treats me. I'm valuable because of the way I am. And as long as you're living, you have something to offer the world. Someone needs something that you have. So I want you to get that regardless of how anybody treats you, you're always going to be valuable because of who you are, because of the way you were created to be. So remember that. Right, I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm gonna look at my notes. Yeah, I'm done. So you are valuable, so don't forget it.